Catflap Chats. This will be episode 89. Delighted to have Tokyo 2020 Paralympian in the table tennis. I think you're 9th in the world. Is that right?
8th now. I've gone up one place. I don't know how, but I have.
8th now. He hasn't lifted a finger and he's become 8th now. Happy days.
Great stuff.
Class. Hey, Mr. Tom Matthews, how you doing, pal? Nice to have you on.
Yeah, I'm doing well, mate. Really well.
What's news then? What's going on? So you obviously, at the time of recording, this is the Thursday now before this is out on Monday. So was it Thursday the 5th of August? Obviously, the Olympics are going on at the moment. You're due to fly out to Tokyo imminently. What's going on in the world, pal?
Yeah, so basically we're flying out on the 17th of August, which is not a long way now. But we got all these fucking PCR tests and shit to do first. Obviously, with COVID in this situation is a bit of a pain in the arse, but it's got to be done. Obviously, it's protecting everyone and protecting the world. So I guess it's got to be done, but it's a pain in the arse. We had one the other day. It had like a red line on the stick. And I don't know if you've ever done a lateral flow. You can see, like, do the snap off point that goes past that. I was like, seriously not, that's not going down my nose. Like, anything that goes up your nose is normally illegal in there, let's be honest. But fuck, I was like, and literally put it in and just closed my eyes. I was like, this ain't right. Like,
I haven't done one yet.
But yeah, it's going well, to be fair. Like, training's going well and stuff, like through COVID and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm prepared as best as I can. So I'm ready for it, really.
So, I mean, there's loads of things I want to pick up on today. You just mentioned then, like, getting ready for Tokyo. Are you excited? Are you nervous? It's your first Olympics, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, first one.
What are you hoping to do out there? What's the expectation? Because you've obviously got the singles, but then there's team events and stuff. Like, talk to me about that, pal.
Yeah, so basically, obviously I'm excited, really excited. Watching the Olympics hasn't helped, really. Seeing everyone out there, I'm just thinking, shit, that's going to be me in a week or two. So that's making a bit more excited. Obviously, when we had the kick drop, that was really nice. That got you a bit more excited. Yeah. There's obviously an element of nerves here because it's the first games and like it's a big event. It's probably the pinnacle of our sport. But I'm really excited to go out. And I just want to go out there and enjoy the experience and just give my best at Paralympics GB, really. Obviously every fucking athlete wants a medal. That's what we do it for. But I just want to go out there and enjoy it and hopefully come away with some medal around my neck or some blingers, whatever you want to call it.
Take some bling back to. Are you still in Merthyr? Is that where you still live up there?
No, Aberdeen. I live in Aberdeen. So.
I've had a
big
few
up the
weekends.
Aberdeen community. Like,
I've had a few weekends in Aberdeen.
Yeah, to be fair to them, they've been cracking. Like, the support from the community around there has been class. Like, they've got a banner up on the bridge and shit like that. So yeah, it's class. Can't wait to go back to the Beehive Inn and have a beer with them lots. So yeah.
just like. You come back, you got a big medal haul, you fucking go in with your medals on, like, yeah, I'll have a free pint, please, pal.
Yeah,
thank you.
I'll have a free pint for it. Cheers, I'll take that. And anyone else in the family want to get me a free pint, I'm always open for a free pint.
Class, I love that. What's the last 18 months been like then in terms of just preparation for this? Because obviously it's been tough for everyone. What's it? I suppose I think you might be the first. I might be wrong. I can't remember off the top of my head. Where we've spoken to a disability athlete. So I'm fascinated. Like, what's the last year been like in the lead up to an Olympics anyway? But then, as someone in your position, like, what extra hurdles? That's probably not even the right word. So forgive me if it's right or not.
I'm not jumping any hurdles, mate. Not in a wheelchair. Fucking hell.
Do you know what? I almost just said when you walk in with your medals and just thought, fuck's sake, I've already ruined it.
I'll just roll in, ignoring it. It's all good.
Yeah, like, I've already ruined it 5 minutes into a podcast, but I'm glad we're on the same wavelength there.
Yeah, definitely.
What extra challenges have you got to overcome then as a disability athlete in order to prepare for those games as well?
So basically, it's day-to-day life stuff. Obviously, it becomes part of your day-to-day life anyway. It's like getting changed now is a bit different. Obviously, toilet works and stuff like that. But it becomes part of a routine, so it doesn't really affect you that much, if I'm honest. But yeah, that's it, really. There's not much else to it. It's just getting changed in the mornings, getting ready and stuff like that. That obviously it takes a little bit more time because you can't just stand up and chuck your trousers on. You got to roll around and shit. But yeah, it's not too bad. It don't really get in the way anymore. Probably a few years back, yeah, it probably would have. But now you get so used to a routine, it's fine. Like,
And in terms of training, then specifically for Tokyo and over the last, because obviously the Olympics were supposed to be last summer, and then you have a year of not being able to like do much or whatever.
Yeah, it was
How's that
strange.
been?
Like lockdown was really strange. Obviously, it was strange for everyone, mentally and physically, because you go from doing all the work and like gym work. Obviously, it was supposed to be 2020. We were supposed to be going to the games.
Yeah.
Knowing I was getting delayed, it was a bit of, not of a shock. Like, we kind of knew it was coming. But yeah, it was. So we had table tennis tables delivered to our house. Mine's gone now. We literally had it taken away yesterday. But we had tables delivered by Sport Wales, and then we had robots sent to us from British Power Table Tennis. So basically, all these robots do no, it's not another person standing on the side of the table. Like, but it's basically, if you ever watch tennis or baseball, so the machines that shoot balls you.
Yeah, I got you.
It's basically that. So yeah, we were playing against robots in the house on Zoom calls, and yeah, it was. To be fair, like it was quite good. Like team wise, it was good because it got us all together as a good team. Obviously, it was challenging. Like I said, we like, but I think the thing that kept me going was like I'm doing more than my competitors. So if I'm doing more, I'm going to be better coming back prepared. So that's what kept me going, really. But yeah, obviously it was challenging as well. But go for it.
I can't like I'm awful at table tennis. I'm terrible. Like I can just about play normal tennis. Like table tennis is just too, I don't know, too quick for me.
It's funny because me and Dan were discussing, like Dan Meal, I was going to come into S3 and just like give it a go with everyone, just have a bit of a laugh.
Yeah, we got the table. Yeah.
Go for a few beers after in Cardiff. Like, we're obviously COVID again, so this COVID's got a lot to answer for, to be honest.
Yeah, but, mate, we're moving office and we're taking the table over there. So when we're all allowed, when you're back, come down and you'll be able to smash everyone.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I'll teach you a few tips as well, look, so you can smash some people.
Yes, that's what I love. I love a bit of that. So it's obviously, I was looking earlier, I was doing a bit of research, and I was looking through like your career and stuff. And they've got class. So for someone who doesn't understand like table tennis and what you go through, like you got the class 1, then there's a class 1-2. What's the difference between them?
So class 1 and 2 are quite similar, but the difference is in the class 1 and 2, the class 1 hasn't got any triceps, limited wrist function and stuff like that. No like abdominal muscles.
Yeah.
Class 2, you've got a bit like quite good triceps. You've got a bit of core, not much, but a little bit more. So it basically gradually goes up as you go up the classes. So class 1 to 5 are wheelchairs. Some of the class 5s can actually walk a little bit, but not much. Like there's several palsy, stuff like that.
Okay.
And then you got like 6 to 10, which is standing disability, and it's the same with works out there. So 6 is the worst in standing disabled, and 10 is like could be missing a thumb. No.
Yeah. No, I got you.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's good to know. So talk me through your journey. I'm sure you would have talked about this before, but I read about the accident and what happened and stuff. If you don't mind, I mean, you're smiling about it now. So
nah, I don't mind. I've gone through his story a few times, so yeah, I'm good to go with it.
Yeah, it's fascinating. I read through it earlier, and then just what you've achieved since is unbelievable. So I couldn't put myself in that situation because I am. When someone says like white privilege, like I've never had anything prejudice against me. I've never had to go through anything really, apart from family members passing away, which we all go through. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, we all go
through it. Try and put myself in your situation earlier when I was doing research on it, I found it hard and how I would deal with it, I suppose. I was trying to think about how I would deal with it, and I don't think I'd deal with it very well, personally. I think I would go quite rock bottom.
I think a lot of people do it, like at first you do. Like I'll be honest, at 16, I thought my life was over. Like I obviously at first I was like, oh, I can get back on my mountain bike. It's just an accident. It'll heal itself. But then as you go on and you get told by the doctor you're not going to walk again, you're like, oh, fuck. Like, shit, this is serious. And you know it's serious when your parents turn up to the hospital. You're like, oh, I've messed up here. I've done something like. But yeah, obviously it's difficult. Like I went through my difficult times. I still have bad days, but there's nothing nowhere near as it used to be. But but yeah, you get through it, and people do get through it. And to be honest, having my accident at 16, it's probably easier age to have it because I had no responsibilities. I didn't have kids. I had a girlfriend at the time, but I didn't have any kids, or like I wasn't married. I didn't have any of that. So probably, I wouldn't say it's a blessing. This guy's didn't want to break my fucking neck, but yeah, it's just one of the things. I think when you're younger, it's easier to deal with and adapt to situations.
I suppose so. For people who don't know, you're obviously mountain biking in the up the valley somewhere. You've come off. You've had a crash. You've broken your neck, and from there, you've been told you'll never walk again, and you're obviously wheelchair bound.
Yeah.
Like as a 16-year-old, as you were talking, then I thought two things. Like if you were older, so say you did it at 30, you've lived. There's two ways of looking at it. You've lived that life able-bodied and enjoyed it for what it is, but then do you resent the fact you can't do it again? And actually, as a 16-year-old, you don't know any different, I suppose, what adult life is like. So you just get on with it however you do.
So that's what I mean. Like, and that's why I feel like it's slightly easier at a younger age to go through it. Because obviously, like you said, you've been through the adult life, and it's quite difficult. Obviously, it's difficult at 16 because you think everything, like you think, oh shit, am I gonna have sex? Am I gonna do, like, that's probably the first thing that went from my head. Like, does my dick still work? I was like, yes, it does. Thank fuck for that. But like, it was just one of the things. You're just like, everything like that goes through your head anyway. Like, even when you had your accident at a young age. But like I said, when you're a bit older, you've lived that life. You've got responsibilities as well. Normally, people in their 30s, let's be honest, I'm not putting it in like a bracket, but normally you've got your own house, you've got bills to pay, you've got everything. You could have a family, and it's really difficult at that point where I didn't have any of that. I was lucky. I got great parents and great family around me and friends to support me, but I didn't have any responsibility, so I could just kind of go to rehabilitation in Rookwood and just kind of get on with it and start to live my life again. Basically, it was basically like being a baby all over again, I guess, just rebuilding from the bottom up.
Yeah, that's fascinating. I never really thought of it like that. And that's where you found table tennis, wasn't it?
Yeah, so it was a guy that used to come around the wards every week. His name was Jim Monkley. He became like a second father to me. But I'll explain a bit more about that afterwards. But he used to come around there like once a week and try and get people up to do table tennis. Because that was the easiest thing to do in our hospital. You're not going to do archery and shoot the fucking bow in a hospital. So but yeah, I didn't know at this time when I first met him, he was a 5-time Paralympian himself. So I was like, when I got up, I didn't even think of anything, because at that age, I didn't even know about Paralympic sport. I was like sublime to it. Like I said, I thought I was going to get back on my mountain bike. We kept coming around, and in the end, I just told him to piss off. I was just like, look, leave me alone. I was going to get back on my bike, but he kept persisting, and in the end, I just got up just to shut him up, really. That was the only reason I got up. But my parents would bring me a Chinese down that evening from my local Chinese in Gmach. Chan's, big up Chan's in Gmach. And I absolutely love the Chinese. And literally, I was on the table and I let that Chinese go cold, which I'm still devastated about, because it's like that chicken balls and chips and curry sauce was like waiting for me. But I just enjoyed the sport so much from there. It was just like, I fell in love with it. But I didn't really stick with table tennis then. So when I came out of hospital, I quit. I had a little period. I'd done about 6 months, and then I quit. Basically, I came out of hospital, started driving, and then kind of wanted to get back to a normal life, see what it's like being in a chair and going out and stuff like that. So I just started going out with the boys, started drinking a lot, and kind of wasting my life away a bit, really. And driving around like a little idiot. It was just one of the things, and I think I'd done that for about a year, and then I watched London 2012, seen that, and I was like, shit, I could actually do something with my life here. Just opened my eyes a little bit. I was just like, come on, Tom, you're better than this. And I give Jim a ring back up, and I ended up back in table tennis, and here I am now going to fucking Tokyo, which is mental.
Class. And just at that age still, I know you said you got like family and friends around you and stuff, but how did you deal with the down days then? And how would you deal with them differently now, being a lot more, I'd say, mature, experienced? You've lived, however many years now it's been since you've had the accident, what are the differences, and like, what do you wish you kind of told your younger self so that you could have got through it maybe a bit easier?
Yeah, I don't think I could have got through it any easier. I'll be honest, it was a difficult time for me and my family. I was thinking about this earlier. Like, sometimes you go a bit hard against people you love. Like, you take it out on them a little bit. So maybe if obviously I don't want to go through it again, but if I could replay it, I'd be a bit easier on them, because obviously they're going through the same emotions as you are, and it's difficult on them. And the down days do get they get bad. I can remember one day where I was like going home on weekends, so they like kind of let you go home and then you come back into hospital for the weekend. That was really difficult, because it's like you get a taste of going home and then you got to go back. And I can remember going back one evening, and my parents used to stay on a deck chair by the side of my bed, because I was only 16, so fair play to them, I wouldn't have done that, but I just left me. But yeah, I can remember getting back one night, and I was like, just like, my mum, I don't want to be here anymore. She's like, oh, it won't be long, boy, we'll be home. And I was like, no, don't understand. I literally don't want to be here. Like, and then she obviously started getting teared up. She walked away and rang my father. My father came back. I mean, my father really open. So before the doctor even told me I'm not going to walk again, I already knew. Like, my father had already told me. So that's the relationship we got. And he just came in and not give me a row, but we had a good talk and kind of sat there, and he said everything's going to be all right. And I obviously believe every word. And here I am, like, it's just changed that. And I think, you'll never be able to change how difficult it is. But I think the way you got to look at it, life does go on, and there is stuff out there that you can do it. Like, even if you're a bit older and you feel like you're not getting into sport, anyone who listens to this, maybe you've had an accident or something life-changing, there is light at the end of the tunnel, and there is hope. There is things out there. And if you are struggling mentally, definitely talk to people. There's loads of things out there, loads of charities that will help you. So please reach out to people if you are struggling.
Yeah, that's tough, that is. Do you think, like, obviously you've got your parents there who they seem quite salt of the earth people there, like, that honesty is not something everyone's got with their family. And if it, like you said, lots of people will push harder on their family because they know they're there. But that for some people, that frays relationships even more rather than builds them stronger. Like, would you look back at it now, and maybe this is fantasizing it a bit, so tell me, shut up, you silly idiot, like, but did table tennis, that was like almost the savior, the way out? It gave you something to look forward to and enjoy, or is that just too romanticized and fucking
no, it was like, obviously it was once a week, so I did look forward to it, because I love the game, I enjoy it. But I think the strength from backbone to me was my friends and my family. Literally, I wouldn't have probably got through it if it weren't for them. So big up them, really. There's more to them to do with them. But like I said, you have your down days. Everyone has their down days. And I didn't really explain like how it gets easier, because at first, when I first came home, I had to have a carer, which was really like weird, because you're 16, you got someone with them, like, not all the time, because your parents will help you out in the night, but going from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. when they're in work, you got someone else with you. And after, like, I think it was a year off, 2 years, I got my strength up to a point where I became fully independent. The guy that was working with me was a legend, Steve, and he wanted more money for his family, and obviously we couldn't pay him that, and he had to go elsewhere. I can always remember my mum was like, "Oh, we're gonna have to look for a new carer," and I was like, "No, I'm done." I was like, "I don't want another carer." And my mother was really nervous. My mother is like an overthinker. My father was like, "Just let him and give it a go," and that was the ultimate turning point, because I was just like, "I can do this. I can definitely do it." And that's where Jim comes in, where I was saying he was like my second dad, because he was like the same disability as me, where my hands don't work and stuff. He taught me loads of ways, like how to do this, how to do that, and that was the thing. I started to learn little things on the road, and they all, no pun intended, rolled together, and I just became fully independent. And that was a turning point, and that's where it became easier, because I didn't have to rely on people to do this and that. And I guess it's got to be difficult for everyone to do that day to day, but I was very lucky in the way that I got out, really.
Yeah, that is class. Not everyone does have that support, so I love the fact that you've had that and it's helped you through, because it must be an incredibly tough time, even for someone, I'm 35 now, but even for someone at my age, where you've had some life experiences, good and bad, nothing prepares you for that, because you always, I'm of the opinion, I'm invincible and it'll never be me.
Yeah.
And one day it will, whatever it is, illness.
Well, that's what I mean. We all become older. You'll all come across these difficulties in life. Or I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy, because it is a hard process to go through. And yeah, you all come across difficult challenges through life. Like even if you lose a family member, like we said earlier, or anything like that, it's always difficult. But you do get through in the end.
Yeah, fair play to you, pal. And you've done it with a smile on your face as well. You've still got your personality. You've not let it define you and like bring you down. Like you said, there must have been down days, but
yeah,
it's not dragged you and kept you there. You fought back and gone, fuck this, I'm gonna go and make something of myself.
That's the thing. You can either give up and become a couch potato, or you can kind of give it a go or something. And like, there's always a support out there. Like Disability Sports Wales, they're amazing. What they done for me as well, alongside Jim, like they helped me kind of on the pathway to coming into the GB table tennis squad. Just there's a lot of things out there you can do, and nothing. The only thing is stopping is you. Like you got amount of minutes in a day, you can change your life within a click of a fingers. You can think, do you know what? Fuck that. I'm gonna do that today. I'm gonna go to the gym. If you don't feel like it, you'll go to that gym and you'll have the best session you've ever had. It's just that mindset of changing it from a negative to a positive. Yeah, things can be shit, but if you look on the bright side, someone else is going through something a hell of a lot worse.
Yeah, always. I fully think that. Do you appreciate life more now because you've been dealt a hand and you've fought through it yourself?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I feel lucky to be alive still, basically. But yeah, like, you treasure everything. Like, you gotta live your life as much as possible. Like, I could have easily been like wrap myself in bubble wrap and do fuck all, basically. But I'm just like, no, live life every day. Like, I'll tell you a funny story. When I went to Cardiff with Veely and all with the boys, we were out to Jamie Oliver's restaurant in Cardiff, and we went down to I think it was Peppermint or something like that, or maybe Soda.
Yeah.
And this hen who comes past wants a picture of us all, a bunch of lads. I was like, oh yeah, go on in. Hen sits on my lap. She falls off as she's getting up in her high heels, pulls me up my chair, and I end up snapping my fucking femur. So big up her.
Is that how you broke your leg, is it? Because I saw that you broke your leg earlier when I was doing some research as well.
Yeah, that's how I broke my leg. So yeah, that happened. So
that is berserk, mate. Like, so am I right in saying, and I could be wrong here, am I right in saying that was around 2016?
Yeah, it was. It was just before the Rio Paralympic Games.
And were you in contention? Because this is what I want to ask you. Were you in contention for Rio?
I was one place off, but it was always a chance that if someone did drop out, I could have gone. But obviously, I done that to my leg. Kind of fucked that up. But it's all right. Like, it kind of put me in good stead for this games, I think. Obviously, the experience would have been great to go to Rio and kind of experience all the games before this. But I feel like I'm ready for it. I feel like I'm mature enough to do it. And if we go back to like the accident kind of thing in COVID, this is where the thing I found easier with the lockdowns, because when I was in hospital, you didn't really leave the place. So it was like, you kind of in lockdown anyway. So it was almost like, I've done this before. I can do it again. I've kind of been through that process. So that made lockdown easier for me as well, going back to that.
Well, just before, I want to get into your career a little bit and go through that. But just before that, like, what do you like to do away from the table tennis when, you're at home or you're just chilling? Like, what do you get up to? What do you like doing? Like, how do you relax?
Obviously, I like playing Call of Duty and stuff like that. My hands don't work, but I found ways of actually playing it. But I like to socialise. I like to go to the pub with the boys and have meals with the boys and just do normal stuff, really. Like going out for a push and stuff, and just like I said, normal stuff. Just having a few beers with the lads on the weekend and enjoying it when COVID's not about, really.
In a way, like, can you get away with more than some athletes can because you haven't got to be on the sprint track on a Monday morning, or like track and field athletes, for example?
Not really, like, because obviously I got to watch my diet and stuff. But let's be honest, every athlete in the world enjoys himself once in a while. I might do it a little bit more often because that's kind of the group I'm in and I enjoy being around them. And I like to have a kind of break from it because I don't want to be thinking about table tennis on the weekend when I played all week. I want to go out, enjoy myself and have normal conversations with my mates. And that's kind of my breakaway from it. So not every athlete's perfect. Kind of portray the perfect lifestyle, but you know what? We got to enjoy ourselves as well. So that's where I take away with it. It's like, enjoy life, just every minute of it, because you're only here once.
Yeah.
So just enjoy it.
I love it. I love it. Fair play to you, boy. Fair fucks. I love that. So you're in, is it Rockwood? Was that right?
Yeah, Rockwood Hospital.
Yeah, so you do your rehab. You've obviously been introduced to table tennis. You take a year out and you live life and you see your friends and you come back to it. From that point then, when would that have been? 2012?
2009.
So,
2009 I had back since October 2009 I left Rockwood Hospital.
And then, so what point did you get back to table tennis after that year out? And between there and then getting like your first Welsh appearance and debut?
So I think I picked up table tennis December 2012. That's when I started again. And then I probably had my debut for the Welsh team, Disabled Sport Wales and Wales, was probably around March of the National Championships, British National Championships.
Yeah.
Didn't go too well. But yeah, I was doing little tournaments here, there and everywhere in Britain. Yeah, really enjoyed it and just kept on. And then I had my international debut for GB was in March 2013 in Hungary, where I got classified. And I actually got drugs tested at international tournament, which was weird because it was my first one. And I can remember Jim saying to me and coming up to me and he was like, "You're getting drugs tested." I was like, "Oh, mate, you just have me on. You're pulling my leg there." And our performance director right now is Gora. As he comes up to Jim and he goes, "Seriously, he's getting drug tested." I was like, "It's my first international competition. I've lost near enough every match, and now you fucking drug test me. What's this about? How am I going to look about me? I know I'm from the valleys, but come on, like." But yeah, I got drug tested then, and I've done a few of them since as well, which is an experience and a half.
But your journey then from like just starting out into like the Welsh camp through that GB pathway, that was real quick. Like within a year, like I've got it here. The October was where you got into the GB pathway. In December, you had your first US. You went to the US Open and had your first medals, silver and bronze, in a couple of events. Like that's a very quick pathway to pick up a new sport and go with it. Do you know what I mean? That's real quick.
It was good. We had a good program down in Wales where Jim used to come in and we used to go in like twice, 3 times a week. So it was a really good program. Obviously, my international debut at March in 2013 was not the greatest. I didn't win any matches, but I learned a lot from that. And then we started like building, training, and kind of doing a bit more, and then doing little tournaments around Britain, like I said. And then when it came to December 2013 in the US, when I won the bronze and silver in singles, I was just like, I can make some of this. And I can always remember I got my medals in the medal ceremony, and this guy comes up to me. And I didn't even realize he was part of the GB kind of thing, and he was like, "Someone wants to speak to you on the phone," like the media officer. I was like, "What?" I was like, "What are you on about?" He's like, "Oh, it's Fran, which is our media officer." And I was like, "Oh my god!" I was like, "What do I say?" And it was just like, "Just go with it. She'll edit it and stuff for you." And I was like, "Okay." So I was like, I knew I had to be professional, and I know I have to be professional in most interviews. I was like, and I was shitting myself. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, "Oh my god, what do I say?" But she made it a good experience, and yeah, from there it kind of snowballed. Really, it was like I got invited up to Sheffield, then that's where our performance camps are.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just started becoming doing little development camps and stuff like that on the weekend. And then I got invited into the performance camps. I was on the pathway squad, but got to train with the performance players like Will Bailey, Rob Davis, all them.
Yeah.
Which was great. And I was just like, oh, I am going somewhere with this. And came to the 2015 European Championships. I got selected. ended up winning a bronze medal in the singles, which I think everyone was surprised by. I was surprised myself, to be honest. And ended up winning the team event with Rob Davis, which European champion still to this day because we haven't had one since. So yes, we'll hold that title. But yeah, it was a mental experience, and then ended up being on the performance squad, and kind of it's been a good journey, really good journey for me.
What sort of athlete are you when the anthems go? Are you tears in the eyes, or are you just like belting it out, or are you just quiet and just focused?
Just quiet and focused. I take it in, really. There's nothing like being on that top step, obviously. I'm proud to be British, but I'm more proud to be Welsh, to be honest. I am very proud Welshman. But when I stand on that step for GB, that's what I'm here for. I'm for my country, and that's the main thing for me.
Were you, and this isn't to think about what might have been, but as a sports lad growing up, I think you played football, rugby, like as most Welsh kids would have played all different sports. Like, were you going anywhere in any of those sports as a semi-pro into pro, or just? So
I was doing rugby and football for fun. I mostly playing rugby, and I found downhill mountain biking. The only reason I found downhill mountain biking because when I was growing up, me and my father used to go out to motorbikes and go up the mountains and stuff.
Yeah.
I always wanted to do motocross. That was my main thing. I was like, I really want to do motocross, and obviously it's expensive sport, but it's really dangerous as well. Yeah. And that was the reason my parents kind of was like, no, you're not doing that. It's too dangerous. Like, it starts at mental and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I just found downhill mountain biking. I knew a guy around the corner from me, John Davis, which ultimately ended up saving my life when I had the accident. Him and my uncle Mark Jenkins, they both were there on the day. But yeah, it started going to downhill tracks with him. Obviously, he's a bit older and stuff. But yeah, it was a mad experience, to be honest. And I still watch the downhill to this day. And I got to a point where I was just about to get signed with Don Skin Cycles in Cardiff. So I was, I don't know if I was going to go anywhere with it. I can't say that because I had my accident too soon. But that's what I was striving for. That's what I wanted to do. But obviously that path changed.
Now, so you're one of those kids that could have played give you a ball, you could have played the sport.
I think so, I'd give anything a go, really.
And
I'd put my absolute all into it. Like, that's me. I won't go 10%. I'm 110% in something, and that's it.
Class. Love that. And like you said then, like over the next couple of years before you broke your leg, you were winning titles every year, or like medaling in loads of different
events. Medaling in most competitions,
all over.
Yeah. But,
what was that like? So like, how often would you travel? Because again, like, so part of the thing, I suppose, as a non-athlete, the thing I love about athletes that they are probably scrutinized a lot in terms of their diet and drinking and the fun that I get to do whenever I want to do it because I'm just a normal Joe Public. But what I don't get to do is travel the world and get paid to do it. And like, I love that about sports. You can travel and meet people all over the world and just have great times. Like, how often were you away, and like, how much do you love that side of things as well?
I think the most I've been away was probably trying to qualify for Rio. We were away so much. We were up in Sheffield near enough every other week. I probably spent 7-8 months in my house, like actually at home. The rest of it was literally year there and everywhere. But I love that fact about it. I love going to different places, learning the culture, seeing what culture they have, and it's a great experience. But it's sometimes a bit frustrating when people say, "Oh, I hope you enjoy your holiday." It's not a holiday. Literally, we go there. You see a hotel room. You go to a training event. You put all the pressure on yourself to win a medal, and then you're coming home. You don't stay out there. Literally, you're doing a job basically. It probably looks different to the public because, especially table tennis, because everyone thinks it's just a holiday sport where you knock it around by the pool and have a pint afterwards. But it's not like that. It's a very professional thing now. And that's the difference as I've become more of an athlete over the time. It's like before I used to go out drinking quite a bit and enjoy myself. When now I don't really do that as much. I'm more like I'll select my times to go out because I want to give my best performance every time I'm on that table. So it does grow into more than anything really becoming an athlete.
It's such a finely tuned sport as well. Like I said, I've played it. I'm not very good at it, but like what goes through your mind as you are just about to play? And like, just talk to me about like tell me about what I can't understand because I've never sat there. Does that make sense? Like, you're just about to pick your paddle up, you're just about to go, like, what's going through your mind? How do you not over-egg that and let the emotions get, take hold of you and you go too hard too quickly, and how do you manage all that, and how does it feel?
So it all becomes from experience of obviously doing so many tournaments and stuff like that. At first I was very erratic and I'd try and hit the ball too hard and like stuff like that, and rush points trying to get it over and done with. You learn to like breathe and kind of take your time with things, and it all becomes part of the process. So when you're warming up, you're taking little things in, and you're adjusting little things as well. So you slow the game right down and try and not get into your opponent's head, but just make sure you were ready before you actually serve that ball in, really. And that's what I love about table tennis. Every point's different, like you said. You can put different spins on the ball, and every point is literally different, which is the best bit. And it's so inclusive as well. Like, anyone can play table tennis. Like, you can pick up a bat tomorrow and be like, oh, should we have a quick game? Malone, you might not get many balls on the table. You can actually play the game wherever you want to go, really.
Yeah, no, completely. Like you said, whenever you go on holiday or whatever, there's always someone that reckons they're half decent and goes, come on, the winner stays on, and you're like, oh, fuck off, mate. Like, there is always someone like that.
I might have to join into one of them when I go on holidays next when we can. Just be like, go on. And I've never played before, act really shit, and then just smash them.
Bang, bang, bang. Oh, fuck.
Let's put €100 on this, mate.
Yeah, class. Oh, mate, I love it. I watched on TikTok the other day, I think it was like a rally, and it must have gone on for like 30, 40 shots, but the guys were like, I don't know how to explain this because we're obviously on a podcast, but like, say that was like the table. The guy was right over here somewhere. The other one was right in the opposite corner. And he was just like lifting it up. It was just bouncing. This other one was smashing it. And he was just lifting it back. And he ended up winning the point. The one who was just casually lifting it back on from like...
It is crazy. Like, that's the thing with standing and wheelchair. Like, with the wheelchair, you're got to be you're really close to the ball. So your reaction's got to be really quick.
Yeah.
With the standards, you can come off a little bit and kind of just get it back on.
Yeah.
But it's a great sport to watch. It's very fast paced, and like when you actually watch table tennis, it's like, oh, that's the level of professionalism that it is. Like, it's not tapping back and forth, tapping back. It's really interesting to watch sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, I can't wait. I've seen obviously professional table tennis standing, as you said, not so much obviously the wheelchair. So I'm looking forward to seeing it.
The thing. That's the best bit about the Paralympics and stuff. You get to see different sports.
Yeah.
And what I love about it, every single person in the Paralympics has a different story, and that's the nicest thing about
it. I don't know. Up in Sheffield, obviously the Great British Performance Centre for like loads of different sports, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, boxing's up there and all that. Like, do you get to spend time with other sports, but then also able-bodied athletes as well?
Yeah, so out of COVID times, let's say we've been in the gym with the likes of Jessica Ennis has been in there, Anthony Joshua has been in there past. So you do see him, obviously you engage in a little bit of conversation, get a fist pump off Anthony Joshua, which is a bit strange.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's amazing. Like, it's a great centre as well, so can't really complain, to be honest. But obviously with COVID times, got your bubble, and that's where you stick to, really.
Yeah, I bet. Oh, fair play, that's class. I mean, we haven't even spoken about this. You broke your leg, obviously you didn't quite get to Rio. Again, like at that point, because of what you'd been through, there's obviously disappointment, I can imagine, but do you almost like brush that off and go, it wasn't meant to be? Or do you get down about that as well and go, for fuck's sake, stupid Hindu, like...
Not really. Like, it wasn't just brushed off. Obviously, the disappointment was there, like I said, but probably give me more fire to carry on and be like, I'm definitely going to make our fucking next one.
Yeah.
Because I wanted this so bad. And that's sometimes can go either way, mind. Like, sometimes if you want it too bad, it can go really bad. Like, you force things and they just don't work out. Where if you want it enough and you work hard enough, I feel like you'll get there in the end. It's like the same with anything. If you put your time and effort in, you'll eventually end up getting there. Except walking. I tried iron physio, it didn't work enough.
Never say never, pal. You never know what technology's around the corner.
Well, we'll see. But I'm enjoying my life in a wheelchair at the moment. I get to go to Tokyo, so fuck everyone.
Yeah, mate. And do you know what? You've had a smile on your face the entire 45 minutes we've been chatting. Like, I fucking love it. There's no feeling sorry for yourself or feeling down or excuses or blaming anyone else. Like, I love that attitude, and I wish more people. Me probably at times where I'm just like, I can't be fucking arsed with the gym or like whatever. And someone just goes, do you know how lucky you are to be able to just get up and walk to your garage and go to the gym? Like, fucking stop it.
That's all it is, though. It's that flip a positive mindset. That's all you got to think of. Like, yeah, you'd be thinking, oh, fuck, I can't be arsed at the gym. I'm a bit tired. But then as soon as you get it, you're not just going to stand in the gym and just look at the shit. You're going to actually do your workout. And I guarantee afterwards, you're going to feel absolutely great because you've done it.
Yeah.
It's a strange one. It is a strange one, but it's a good flip to have, like.
Completely. Mindset's a mental thing. I love chatting about it. I find it fascinating because I can be like, I'm quite a big guy, but I could run a 5K tomorrow, but I'm heavy like. But at the moment, I just fucking hate training and I love eating. So I'm like, I've put on loads of weight recently. And I'm just like listening to you and I'm going, why am I being such a lazy twat? I've got everything.
Get to the fucking gym.
Yeah, no, honestly, like I'm gonna have to. I'll send you a picture after this now when I'm in there, like pushing my 20K.
Oh, if it ain't on your Instagram story, I'm gonna be disappointed. If it didn't work on Instagram, it didn't happen.
I'll put it up after now. What's the last few years been like then? Like everything has been aimed towards Tokyo 2020. Obviously that got pushed back to this year, but you went from the pathway to the performance squads. There's been more medals, more championships. What's that been like, in terms of that? Does it get overwhelming sometimes just having that one focus, or do you break it down into like almost mini goals leading up to the Olympics?
So I had a conversation with my psychologist once where I was, obviously my main aim was Tokyo. That's the big goal. And then I kept thinking about that all the time and it kind of clouded my vision of everything else. Yeah. So then we had to break it down. So it's breaking it down to championships. And it's breaking it down to events in different countries. And then it's breaking it down to the actual game. So now I just take it point by point. It's not, my next match is I might be playing this guy, I might be doing this. My next round is like, no, you got to get through this one to get to the next one. So make sure you concentrate on this point. And that's all you can do, really. I think breaking things down to the smaller is less pressure than thinking of the bigger picture.
Yeah, definitely. I suppose people say like if you're gonna climb a mountain, don't worry about the top, just take the next step.
Yeah,
just keep taking that step.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's little steps, and yeah, you're gonna have the steps forward, and you will have the steps back. Anything you do in life, you'll have steps back. But as long as you're gaining little knowledge by going them steps back, like say I lose a match, I'll get more knowledge from losing the match and actually winning it. Because when you win, you forget over it. Don't matter if you played shit, I've won. Yeah, when you've lost that game, you think, what could I have done different? And then you analyze and you look at it and you think, yeah, that's what I could do different. Next time, hopefully, you go into that match and you win it. It's like anything in life. Like, say you do doing a degree or something like that, and you've done pass it once. You'll feel shit, but you can always do it again, and you'll learn from the mistakes you made last time, and hopefully that next time you'll pass it. So it's never giving up on things. If you keep going, you'll eventually get there. That's what I believe, anyway.
Yeah, 100%, definitely. There's I've seen on, I think it was Instagram, there's a big old team of you in terms of the table tennis team. What's the expectation then for you guys? Like, good few number of medals? Because you look at your competition, like, they're not shit. So what's the expectation?
We're open for medals, obviously. That's our main aim. Like I said, as athletes, that's what you want to go out there for. And we got the likes of Will Bailey, the Strictly Come Dancing star, which won gold in Rio, and then we got Rob Davis, who also won gold in Rio. And there's a few team events which have won bronzes and stuff like that in the past. So it's a really strong team. It's 13 of us going out, and yeah, I think everyone just wants to go out there and enjoy it. And I think potentially we'll come back with 4 or 5 medals, hopefully. Like, well, we'll see. Hopefully more. Like, I don't know. I can't really put a number on it. Obviously, I want to come back with a medal myself. So it's one of them things. But I just want to go out there and enjoy the experience of all the guys and just see and support each other and be part of that bigger family of Paralympics GB really, and being part of a multi-sport event.
Class. And what's the celebration like for a lad who's living in Aberdeen with his first Olympic medal?
Oh Jesus! Well, I don't know if you ever watched on my Instagram. There's a video when I won my world champion singles. Basically, so I came out and I went 2-0 down, and I was like, oh shit! And I ended up winning this match 3-2. I was 10-8 down in the fifth. He needed to win one more point and he would have the medal. But somehow, with my grit and determination, I ended up winning the match and just absolutely going wild. So yeah, it's gonna be massive. Obviously, if I win a medal, it's the pinnacle. It's in the biggest stage, and yeah, I feel like I'm prepared for it. And I just want to go out there and enjoy it, to be honest. And if I do win a medal, make sure I get a pint when I come home, for Christ's sake.
Will you find it easier or harder that your family and that won't be able to be there? Easier, less pressure, you can just focus on it, or harder?
I think it's easy for me because I've never been to a Paralympics before, and I don't really know what to expect. Where some of the other guys have obviously been to them and they've had their family there, they've had massive crowds to play to, and we won't have that this time. So it might be a bit strange to them, but I've never experienced that. So when we do like World Championships and Europeans, there's no crowd there really. It's like sometimes you'll have a little bit, but there's nothing compared to a Paralympic Games. So we're kind of used to no crowd. So there's no excuses there. We just got to go out there and just do our best, really.
I love it. I fucking love it. Where can people find you on various social medias, mate, so they can follow you and keep in touch with what you're up to out in Tokyo?
So my Instagram is Tom Matthews TT. And that's the same as my Facebook and Twitter. It's mostly the same all around. If you want my Snapchat, DM me.
Love that. I'm not cool enough for Snapchat, mate. I'll leave that with you, boy.
Well, single lad, I have to get it down there somewhere. But that's the thing, like obviously I've had the opportunities to get in relationships in the last, not obviously the last year or so, but a few years leading up to the games. But you sacrifice so much, that's what people don't realize. My focus is so much on Tokyo. I didn't realize what I had wrong with me at that time. It was just like, no, I can't get in a relationship or do this because I want to make it. I don't want any distractions. When I actually qualified, I was like, right, I can relax now. My eye haven't come off the goal. It's more like I've got to that point where I can be happy now and be like, I can enjoy other things. It's a bit strange, really.
I think this will spur you on, though, to another one.
No, I'm definitely going to go for Paris. It's only 3 years away, so it's stupid not to. But they did announce Brisbane the other day, and that's 2032, which is a few years away, but I'm sure I can get it.
Where's 2032?
Brisbane.
Oh, mate.
So I've got to keep going, and I think what's the list so far? Obviously, we've got Tokyo coming up, we got Paris, then we got LA, and then Brisbane.
Oh, mate, LA, mate, get out there.
Come on.
Have you been to California?
I've been to San Diego, so it's on the outskirts.
So where you've got LA, and then you've got Ocean Pacific Highway 1, which goes along all the beaches, but you can ride a bike. So for you could go to a certain beach, Huntington, and then you could push to Newport Beach, and then and you could do a tour.
Go for miles,
Mate, it's unbelievable. It's one of my favorite places in the world.
I was going to say I'm not riding a bike again. Oh, fuck that. They didn't do some things. Make sure whoever's listening to this, wear a bloody helmet, because that thing saved my life. Just make sure you wear a helmet.
I'm going to get my daughter to listen to that bit. Wear a fucking helmet.
I wish I had my helmet here at the moment. It's down my parents' house. But so basically I had a full face helmet on, and the jawline I actually cracked, and there's carbon fiber up here. There's literally a dent in it. I can push the jawline in and everything. So helmets are really important. Whoever's listening to this, just make sure you wear one, because I definitely wouldn't be if you weren't for that. And that's 100%.
Fuck, fair play to you, mate. Hey, mate, I have absolutely loved this.
Same. It's been a good podcast. I've enjoyed it.
it's been class, just like understanding and getting under the skin of like you and what you've been through. So you take away the athlete part and just you as a bloke and your mindset and how happy you're lucky you seem to be, and but what you've been through as well. And then at the same time, you're doing amazing things leading up to a Paralympics, and you're an international athlete. Like, I fucking loved it.
Yeah, no, it's great. Like, well, it's mad because we had like a send off kind of thing when we were in Sheffield last camp, which was last week. It was the last camp before we go, so next time I see all my teammates will be at the airport, which is crazy. But yeah, it's like so we had a send off video where it was like, then this is then and this is now. And it was like little personal messages in it, and it was a few off like my parents, which is quite emotional because they went kind of from my accent. They're like, oh, 12 years ago, we would never think you were there. And yeah, it teared me up a little bit. And then obviously all the boys are like, oh, good luck and stuff. They call me Tom Bronze because I've won so many bronzes. So one of the boys was like, come back with our goal so we can start calling you Tom Bronze. I was like, oh, you little fucker. But I'll be honest, I come back with any medal, I'll be well happy from Paralympic Games. So they can stuff us saying up their arse and call me Tom Bronze. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, tell them to go and try and win a bronze, eh?
I know. I know.
Class. Hey, I've loved it. Thank you so much for coming on.
No problem, mate. Cheers for having me on.
No, we'll keep in touch, and we'll obviously keep a lookout for what you're getting up to over there.
Yeah,
got
definitely.
your socials and stuff. This will be out Monday, so we'll tag you in it. Was it Tom Matthews TT? Yeah.
Yeah, Tom Matthews TT on everything, and like I said, slip into my DMs, the Snapchat girls.
Yes, get it done. Look, when you come back with that medal, mate, there's a pint on me, all right?
Cheers, mate. I'll be down, and I give her a game down in S3.
Yes, we'll get it done. I love it. I fucking love it. Class. Thank you so much.
Cheers, mate.
Look after
No,
yourself,
thanks,
right?
man. You too. Cheers, mate.
Top man. Ta-ra, bye.
Catch you, mate. Ta-ra.